This video is for any learning and development or business leader who wants to create a culture of superior learning and confidence in their employees. So this is actually part 2 of 2. So this video might make more sense if you watch the first part. It was sort of a flyover or overview, and this is getting a little more specific, a little deeper, though even 9 or 10 minutes really isn't deep enough to cover this subject, but it is a decent introduction. So if anything you learn from this video is useful or beneficial, I would love to hear from you in the comments. You can reach out to me if you have questions, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Thank you. So the first thing you really need to do is to establish an environment of psychological safety, whether this is pair training, one-on-one, or in a group. One of the best ways I find to do this is the group you're working with probably has, every member has a skill in something. Like if you really want to get detailed about it, walking is an exceptionally difficult problem we're all good at. We all sucked at it at first, but we all got good at it. So obviously you can't use that as it's like, that's amazing, you walk, how do you do that? But it has taken robotic scientists many years to get robots that are still not as good as humans as far as I know. And if you watch a lot of the robot competitions, even the ones with the Department of Defense competitions and that, the robots are still laughably beneath humans, generally speaking, but they're getting better. It's taking a lot of effort. So that's just one example, but every individual in any room probably has a skill that they're fantastic at compared to you. So you as the instructor or the learning leader can use that to illustrate. Or if the whole group is of the same department, they're probably way better than you at something. And you could use that to demonstrate essentially your incompetence at what they're great at, but that you feel no shame in demonstrating that. It's like have them ask you questions, things like that. And when you have no idea the answers, you ask a question, they all start laughing. You just laugh with them. It's no big deal to make a mistake. It's no big deal not to know what you're talking about, because we all are clueless about something. So that's really what it comes down to. And it's really important that trainees or whoever you're teaching, they're not punished for mistakes. If you punish people for mistakes that are afraid of mistakes, which has led to a whole pandemic of everybody getting participation trophies and then being ultra fragile in their egos and actually winding up with lower self-esteem because of something I've talked about in other videos. Maybe I'll put a link here to that, but it's just accomplishment causes self-esteem, not vice versa. So instead of them being punished, you give students immediate feedback. And when I mean immediate, I mean literally fractions of seconds is ideal. If in the situation, and you can create this situation depending on how you teach it, in this situation, as much as possible, you want to give the availability for immediate feedback. Now, some would argue, well, yeah, but that'll interfere with their flow of the conversation. It's like, yes, it will, but it will also give them something you can get no other way. That is, in classical conditioning, when you train a dog or a cockroach or a human, after a few seconds of not getting feedback, that is reinforcement, either say good or you need to change this, do it this way instead, the behavioral learning, the deep down learning that's not even really conscious, literally fractions of seconds matter. The more instant the feedback, the quicker the animal, and yes, we're animals, will learn. Cockroaches all the way to humans learn in this way. It's not the only way we humans learn, but it's the most fundamental way, and it's completely reliant on that immediate instant feedback. So the more you can facilitate it, the faster your students will learn. Of course, it has to be done in this environment of psychological safety, but you give immediate, instant, non-judgmental, and honest feedback specifically as to how to improve, not you're wrong. Sometimes if they ask you whether they're wrong, You need to give them an honest answer, but you can say, well, this way would be better, or this would be an improved version of what you did. So it's always focusing on the better version, the more desirable outcome, not them. It's not that they're bad, it's that they don't know how to do this yet, which is why they're in a learning setting. And here's how to do it better. Specific, clear, concrete feedback directed at helping them do what they're doing now better. So it's less about mistakes than anything else. It's about what you can do correctly, but it's honest feedback. If they did it and they said, how did I do? It's like, well, it needs improvement. Or you can even say terrible, but normally there's no good purpose in doing that. But you never basically give them a high five for sucking at something. That does not help them improve. You give honest feedback directed towards improvement. You praise genuine effort over results. And the reason you do this is based on Carol Dweck's work, but a lot of other stuff, a lot of practical experience of any decent teacher on earth knows this. You can praise positive results and improvement, but do so through attributing that to the effort. That is, let them know that their effort has resulted in the positive outcomes, in the great results they're getting, rather than talent or intelligence. And the reasons you do this is that effort is a choice. Talent and intelligence at any moment are fixed and not a choice. You can increase intelligence over time and you can train it, but in any moment, you're only as smart as you are at that moment. But most people can always put in more effort, and they will put in more and more effort and risk the chance of failure, putting in maximum effort and working at the top edge of their skill only if they feel there's no repercussions for making silly mistakes. And when you are at the top edge, you are by definition far more likely to make mistakes. But that's totally okay. And you have to establish that environment, or this will not work effectively at all, which is why people say, oh, it doesn't work to give people honest feedback instantly. If you do it wrong, you're right. It won't work, but that's because you're doing it wrong. Okay, so that's really it. Tomorrow's video will be about, I don't know, I haven't decided. And I will put a recommendation for which video will be associated with this. I haven't chosen it yet, but I will put it right there. I don't know what it is yet because I haven't chosen it. And I will also put it in the description. That's it for Crush It Club 151, Earned Confidence, Part 2. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.